Tope's hands trembled as she stood over the crib, a pillow clutched in her grip. The tiny form of her newborn daughter lay still, her soft breaths barely audible over the rush of blood in Tope's ears. The voices were louder tonight, screaming inside her head. Do it! Save her from this cruel world. Do it now. Hi friends, today's story is about Tope, a young lady with a beautiful home and a newborn baby. She had everything to be happy about, but everything seems to fall apart. I hope you enjoyed this story. Kindly subscribe, like and share, and please drop a comment. Her fingers clenched around the fabric. Tears streamed down her face. She loved her daughter. Oh, how she loved her. But the voices told her she was a danger, that the world was a dark place, that the child was better off. Tope! A piercing scream shattered the night. Strong arms yanked her back. The pillow fell from her grasp. Tope, what are you doing? She turned to see her husband Femi, his eyes wide with shock, terror, and something worse, disbelief. Behind him, his mother stood, hand clasped over her mouth, her face contorted in horror. The world tilted, the walls seemed to close in. I don't know, she stammered, her voice hers. I didn't mean to. Femi snatched their daughter from the crib, holding her close. Tope backed away, pressing against the cold wall, gasping for breath. The voices laughed in her head. You have been caught. Now they know. His mother's voice was sharp. I told you something was wrong with her. She is not well, Femi. This woman is a disgrace, a devil. In my 64 years, I have never seen a mother hate her child. Tope, you are evil. The accusations cut deep, but she had no strength to defend herself. She was drowning in guilt, in fear, in something far worse, a terror she could not name. From that night on, everything changed. They took her child from her. They whispered about her behind closed doors. The house that once felt like home became a prison. Her husband, an uneasy warden, and his mother, a relentless tormentor. Tope prayed. She fasted. She knelt before the altar at church, her hands clenched together so tightly that her nails dug into her palms. Lord, please, make it stop. Make them go away. But the voices only grew stronger. She would wake in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, hearing things that weren't there, crying babies, murmurs in the dark, footsteps pacing outside her door. The walls seemed to close in. The shadows moved when no one was watching. One evening, she wandered out into the streets, barefoot, her gown soaked with milk and sweat. She had forgotten how she got there. She stood at a very busy intersection, the honking of cars distant and muffled, as if she were underwater. The voices told her to step forward, that it would all end if she just walked into the headlights. Then she felt a strong grip on her arm. It was her younger sister, Dami. She had followed her. Tope, what's wrong with you? I don't know, she whispered. Dami took her home that night. But things only got worse. Femi's mother declared that she was possessed, that an evil spirit had taken hold of her after childbirth. A pastor was called in. She was forced to drink anointed oil, held vigils where they shouted over her, demanding the demon to leave. It did not leave. It only pushed her deeper into darkness. One evening, she overheard Femi talking to his mother. "We cannot keep her here," the older woman said. "What if she kills the baby next time? She's a danger, Femi. You are my son, but I cannot sit back and watch this madness." Silence. Then his quiet reply, "I don't know what to do anymore. We can't let people know about this. It's disgraceful." That night, she wept until her body went numb. The man she loved, the man she thought would stand by her, was slipping away. The next morning, she woke up to find her bags packed. Femi refused to meet her eyes. "You need help, Tope. You can't stay here." They were sending her away. She screamed, begged, clung to him, but his mother pried her away. "You brought this on yourself," the woman spat. She was taken to her family's home, where she spent weeks in a daze. Her own mother, though sympathetic, didn't understand. "We have to pray, my daughter," she urged. "This is not ordinary. It's our village people." Her mother asked some people about this issue, and a very good Baba was recommended. They visited Baba. He consulted the oracles. Finally, some answers to the problem. It was her late uncle, whom she had disrespected when he was alive. He was out for vengeance. They were to bring a bag of rice, 2 crates of egg, 1 he-goat, and 20,000 naira to appease the spirit of her late uncle. She quickly provided all the items for the appeasement, and Baba assured her he had performed the rites. She was free, answered prayers. She returned home happy. But that very night, the voices returned. "Tope, look at how fat you are. You are even looking ugly." It was over. She couldn't continue like this anymore. That night, Tope consumed the last drops of sniper in the house and went to bed. Her mother went to check on her daughter to rejoice over their defeat of the demon, but found her daughter lying on the floor, looking lifeless. Her heart stopped. She screamed, called the neighbors for help, and Tope was taken to the hospital for treatment. She survived. Since suicide victims needed to see the psychiatrist, she was mandated to see Dr. Joy. What was the point anyway? No one would understand. She was a total disgrace. "You have postnatal depression, Tope," the doctor told her softly, her eyes kind but firm. "You are not cursed. You are not evil. You are ill and you need help." Tope's breath hitched. No one had said that before. Not Baba, not the prayer warriors, not even her Femi. They had called her wicked, possessed, dangerous. But this woman, this doctor, said she was sick, and sickness could be treated. Therapy was painful. It forced her to face her thoughts, to name the darkness that had swallowed her. Some days she resisted, convinced that the voices were right. Other days she broke down, screaming for her daughter. But slowly the fog lifted. The voices became whispers, then echoes, then silence. Months later, she reached out to Femi. He was hesitant, wary, but he listened. It took time, but he let her see their daughter. She held the child she had almost lost, her body trembling with emotion. "Mama," the little girl cooed, reaching for her face. Tears streamed down Tope's cheeks. She had almost lost everything, but she had found her way back. 2 years later, as she cradled her newborn son in her arms, she knew she had won. She had beaten the darkness. She had found herself again. This story is dedicated to all women who are going through mental health issues. Please, see a doctor.